Hello and welcome to Fresh Faced One Shots. My name is Joey,
And I'm Jacob.
and today we are back with X-Manhunt, the X-Men crossover event of March. This is an issue of X-Factor, which, as most of these issues have been, it's a title that we don't regularly read. But this is X-Factor number 8. We're covering it as part of the X-Manhunt crossover event, which is a direct continuation of our last issue, X-Men number 13. If you didn't see our video on that, go check that out. It's a great time.
It's really nice that all of these have been direct continuations,
except for NYX.
except for NYX. Like.
Yeah, it's a problem. We bitched enough about NYX in the last video. I think we should refrain from that.
Yeah, we probably should.
Let's bitch about something else. Greg Land drew the cover to this. Or should I say drew in quotations? Although it also credits Frank D'Armata on it. So maybe it's not all bad things. Anyway, so X-Factor, I've not read much X-Factor at all. This is Legacy number 300. It seems daunting, but honestly, it's actually pretty accessible. I think both of us, may have been slightly worried going into this one after our NYX experience, being a team of characters we're mostly unfamiliar with. But honestly, this was really easy to get into. I didn't mind this at all.
So yeah, it's written by Mark Russell, who I think goes on the I think Russell's train of thought for this is a massive every ongoing not every, but most of the ongoing X books are getting a crossover in this, and it's going to be part of the actual main event. And he realizes that's a problem. Well, I have a team made up of a lot of different characters,
and so he
focuses on the two most famous ones.
Yeah, and like a third one that I really didn't know that well. But I mean, like someone that, if you're only really realistically focusing on one other character that your reader is likely to not be familiar with, and for the rest, they're just kind of there, and you kind of have just maybe like one or two fun little character moments. I think that's a recipe for success for the most part. This was still a really solid issue. Of course, we also do focus a lot on our mainline X-Men for the Jed MacKay run from last issue, or last two issues, going into this one. So there is still that like connective tissue across the event. But where we begin actually in this issue is with Alex Summers, who is a character I didn't know was actually a big part of it. I'm guessing is a part of this book somehow. Who's going through relationship troubles with Polaris right now, which is interesting. I meet the other sort of X-Factor character that I wasn't really familiar with throughout this. This is Frenzy, who's deciding to take Alex Summers on a mission with her, and we're going to see what that's all about as we jump back to the present day, where our X-Men and X-Factor teams have come face to face, and X-Factor is here on behalf of the U.S. government. Good for them, I guess.
And it's who is it who says? I'm trying to trace these. There are a lot of speech bubbles on this one page.
It's Angel mostly talking on this one.
Yeah, we're supposed to find that reassuring.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Angel's a flawed character.
Angel's a mess.
Yeah.
That's all I know is that he is a mess, I guess.
Angel appeared briefly in some of our previous Claremont X-Men reading. So
yeah, incredibly briefly,
but he was there. But yeah, X-Factor wants to take Charles off of the X-Men's hands, and the X-Men obviously are not up for that. So we're gonna fight over Charles Xavier, and I mean, I guess solid enough idea for an issue. You get some fun character interactions. Beast gets a pretty heavy spotlight throughout this, which I really like seeing.
It's interesting also because Beast seems to be the most rational person on the MacKay X-Men team.
He is. He most definitely is. And yeah, he works exactly in that manner here as a sort of voice of reason. He also gets easily the funniest moment in the entire issue when he comes face to face with a character named Granny Smite, who he says, and I quote, "You, Granny Smite, right? What's your power?" She says, "I can't die. So if nobody tries to kill her, she's completely neutralized. See how easy that is? Aw, rats." It's just fantastic moment.
Well, and it keeps going. It's like, and Zyber, is it? What about you? I can give off an electromagnetic pulse that disables all electronics. Well, I'm glad you didn't, because all my pictures are stored on my phone, but other than that, it would have had zero effect on me. Like,
amazing. Like, honestly, these are just fun little character moments that Russell is giving to our X-Factor team. That Russell is realizing that these are not characters that are going to stick in the mind of a non-X-Factor reader. So let's just get them here, get them out, move on, stick to the point of the event itself, and that's what this is. We get Angel transforming into Archangel at one point, as he we have Alex and Frenzy running away with Charles's body. They've escaped with Charles Xavier's unconscious body as the X Factor and X-Men teams fight. We get some reflection in Alex's inner monologue about previous X-Men excursions. Truly just having an actual debate over like who Xavier is to these people, what he means to them, and what him being free from Greymalkin and sort of loose after all the horrible shit he's done actually means for them. It's great. It's just a great scene. I really love it.
It also forces Scott Summers to actually confront some of his baggage a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, also, can we talk about this one fucking panel on page 16 of the digital issue on the bottom right there, as Scott is powering up his visor and just that single tear is falling from it. It just looks fantastic. I fucking love that. I don't think we mentioned Bob Quinn is the artist on this. Is the penciler on this issue, and it seems like inker as well. Just a fantastic panel. And I just really enjoyed the art throughout this whole issue as it is. Yeah. We have Xavier reaching for a device here to unveil something that may change the tide of things, and this is another thing that, look, I didn't read any of the Krakoan era.
This is clearly a Krakoa thing, I guess, because the implication is Krakoa is what? Destroyed, dead, dying?
Yeah, destroyed. I believe.
Destroyed. And Xavier wants to resurrect it, even though it's been not even been a year since it was destroyed, but that's okay.
Yeah. So we have the Krakoan resurrection egg, which I'm guessing this is obviously, I'm guessing this is where all the NYX stuff kind of comes into it with the Krakoan seed there. But even then, it doesn't make me like the NYX issue more, to be honest. I feel like I could have understood the resurrection seed without that. But whatever. So in unveiling the seed, Scott is then attacked by someone from X-Force. I don't know who this is. And Charles is taken by X-Force, and that is where the issue ends. Or sorry, not Scott. Charles is taken by X-Force, and that is where the issue ends. And that'll continue in next week's issues of X-Man Hunt, which again, I mentioned it on our last video for X-Man Hunt. I'm a little worried about if I just have a feeling it might have the same issues as the NYX issue, but I don't know.
So what's interesting is that in between this and the next one, we have the tie-in, the Exceptional X-Men tie-in.
Yes, that is true.
Collateral Damage, which they're both next. Yeah, they're both next week.
Yeah,
because then
and then we have the finale in the following week.
Yes, finale and then Uncanny 12.
It is nice to think we only have 3 issues left in the event itself, and that's just kind of nice. I appreciate.
It is nice.
Yeah. In the meantime, check out other Fresh-Faced one-shots we do, or I would say that, but they're all coming out in the last week of March. So.
Yeah, and they're all going to be delayed because
real life things.
Out of town.
But other Fresh-Faced one-shots we do, we cover Superman by Joshua Williamson, Wonder Woman by Tom King, Batman: The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween, The End of the Long Halloween Saga. Normally we cover the Uncanny X-Men by Gail Simone as well, which is the whole reason we're covering X-Man Hunt, and we'll have another Uncanny issue at the end of this month, or rather coming out, our video on it coming out early April. Also check out the main podcast, Fresh Face Comics. We recently released an episode on the first 2 volumes of Gail Simone's Batgirl from the New 52. Our next episode is on Batman R.I.P. It's our 90th episode, which is absolutely insane to think about. So just thanks for all the support on that. It's been awesome. Also check out our link trees. That'll be in the description below. You can follow us wherever you want to follow us. Subscribe to the channel, Blood Donut Studios. Any support is greatly appreciated. Until next time, this has been Joey Morgan
and Jacob Licklider.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.